Hey friend, welcome to the Ready to Rise podcast with your host, me, Audrey Rose. This is the podcast all about taking your life to the next level. Join me on my journey as I create a life that I'm obsessed to wake up for every day. I hope that you are ready to create a life that you really, really love. Are you ready to rise?
So many of us get this great idea and we think about something that we want to implement for ourselves, or we think about something that we should do for ourselves that might be better for us or create a better life for us or anything like that. And we start to just slowly kind of ponder on it, right? Think about it for a little bit, wonder about it, those kinds of things. And then what happens? The idea just kind of goes away. And then it's like, wait, what was I thinking about? Oh, I don't know, because now I'm back to this old thought pattern of thinking that I can't do it, so I just totally forgot about it. That's why change doesn't always work out for everybody. You start to think about something, and then it's like you just totally forget about it because X, Y, and Z happens. You get busy, so you forget because, that's going to take too much time out of my day. I'm too scared, honestly. What if I fail? What if people see me start working out and then they see that I'm not losing weight? So then it's like I'm technically a failure, or I give up and I go back to my old habit because that's what I've done so many times before. But you know what? We have to squash that within ourselves. You can't always base everything off these fears, right? What happens if you win? What happens if it works out for you? What happens if you take that leap and you start doing that thing and then it works out? So much of the time we're just sitting around and, fantasizing about how life would be if I could just do this. We beat ourselves up all the time, day in, day out. I mean, we know we do. We don't even catch it most of the time because it's an automatic habit that we're having. But we're like, what would happen if I could just do this thing every day? What would happen if I worked out every single day? What would happen if I stopped buying Starbucks every day and put that $7, because believe me, I know it's not $5 anymore. What if I put that $7 into a separate bank account for travel because I've wanted to go to Italy my whole life? What would happen? What would happen? We have to remember that, we can do it. Why are we stopping ourselves? When we think these great thoughts and these great ideas and these dreams and these things that are in our hearts, it's like, why are they not happening? Why are we not doing them? Can you tell me why? What's that next thought? You have that amazing thought, like, oh my God, what if I could just go to Italy? Next thought, can't afford it. Next thought, fuck, I'm late for work. I'm going to go get that Starbucks in that drive-thru, which takes 20 minutes anyways. So you could have just made coffee at home, sister. So what were you even really doing? You gotta break it down for yourself and think about, why am I not making this change? Why am I not pursuing this dream? Why am I not doing this for myself? This is your time. This is your one time on this planet. This is your one time in this body that you're going to go around this planet Earth. So why not make the best of it? Live up every dream that you can. Do everything you can for yourself to live the best life possible, day in, day out. We don't have that much time. I'm a nurse. I see, especially right now during this COVID, pandemic, life is so fucking short, dude. We don't have the luxury to just sit around on these dreams and sit around on these visions that are placed on our hearts because, I have to do the laundry today. No, figure it out. You're going to do the laundry so that later on you can just sit in front of the TV and zone out and forget about what's going on around you for hours and hours. You got to pick and choose your battles, right? It's good to do laundry, do the chores, do all those things, but schedule those things into your day so that you still have time for you, for your passions, for the things that are going to light you on fire. So many times I hear friends, coworkers, parents, cousins, whatever, tell me, I just really want to change. I really want to do this one thing for myself. And you'll hear them state that. And then where's the follow through? We have to do it for ourselves. I've done it a million times, a million times. And I don't say it out loud half the time because I already know I'm probably not going to follow through. So I don't want anybody to know that I was even thinking about it in the first place, right? But it's you get this dream, you get something on your heart that you want to do. yeah, maybe we lack the motivation, maybe we're lacking some accountability, maybe we're not allowing ourselves to follow this path, but at the same time, we're talking ourselves out of it. Why? Mostly because of fear. Mostly these are fear-based thoughts that come up inside our heads and tell us that you can't do this. You're going to fail like you have so many times before. What are you even thinking? No, you can't afford that. What happens when your credit card gets declined and whatever? I don't know. It's all fear-based thoughts. And we have to learn how to stop those. We have to learn how to tone them down so that we can be the best version of ourselves that we want to be, following our dreams, doing what we want to do. Fear of failure is probably one of the biggest things that keep us in that cycle of doing those continuous habits that we're doing over and over and over again that are not serving us, because it's not comfortable at all to step into some new habit that's going to do these new things for you, open up these new doors, and really help you become that person you want to be. That exciting idea that you have so much passion for, that podcast you want to launch, that car you want to buy, that guy you want to talk to at the coffee shop. I don't care what it is. That thing that's going to light your heart on fire, you have to go for it. But fear stops us. And it's usually the fear of failure, probably something childhood related, right? Childhood, we've had some rejections or haven't been good enough at something, we didn't get that award. I don't know what it is, but sometimes that sticks with us for years and years. And this is our time to really disprove that and to be that person that we want to be. What are some of those action steps that you can take towards busting that fear, chopping it down into small pieces? I don't know what kind of a way you want to put it in, but I mean, fear's not serving you at all. Staying in this comfortable situation that you're in right now is clearly not serving you, because you're dreaming about something else and you're praying for it to happen, but no one can really just do it for you. You can pray for it all you want, but no, you cannot wake up tomorrow and have your whole world change and have that passion, that thing that ignites your fire, just be there. You have to work still. Somehow the universe may give you some tools to help you and to start you on that journey, but you have to do it yourself. So what is standing in the way? Like I say, I think it's really fear. How do we get rid of that fear? I think we need to pay attention to our thoughts. We need to inventory all of our thoughts every day around this issue. When something cool happens, you have this awesome thought, you think about that passion, take inventory of the next thought that comes to mind, because usually that's when you're going to have that fear-based thought of, oh my God, what if I could just buy this car I've been dreaming of my whole life? Next thought. It's probably going to be something like, oh, I don't have enough money. Next thought, I'd have to really, really work overtime. I don't want to do that. Next thought, then who's going to do all the dishes at home? Next thought, I hate my husband because he doesn't do any of the dishes. Next thought, I don't know. It just keeps on cycling. Take inventory of those thoughts. Write them down if you have to. And write out the solution next to them. That fear, is that a true thing? Is it really going to happen? What if you could just change your thought about the fear and then teach yourself that we can get around that? You have this passion, you have something calling on your heart, so let's make it happen. Get that fear-based thought out of your head and, solve it for yourself. Solve that problem for yourself. A lot of the time, we get these fear-based thoughts because we're afraid to make mistakes. The fear of failure is such a big deal these days. I want to challenge you to really look back and think. Think about the mistakes that you've made over your life. You've had this fear of failure. You have it right now. Think of a time that you, quote unquote, failed. What did that feel like, and what did that do to you? How did that make you grow? For some reason, as humans, it's like we think that we're not allowed to make mistakes anymore. But back to being a human, it's only human to make mistakes. Sometimes you try to do something, it doesn't always work out the way that you think it should, but it works out the way that it needs to for you to learn something and to grow, and then to face your fear again the next time. Every time that you quote unquote fail, the next time that you try again, it's just making you that much stronger, and you do it even that much better, and you learn something, and then you keep on growing.
We should not fear any of these failures because they're not really failures. They're not mistakes. They're just opportunities for growth. So that leads me to another action step that I think you can take. It's something that I learned from, I think it was Rachel Hollis, who said it's an awesome idea to write down all the things that you've done right. Write down a list of all these awesome things that you've gotten through and that you've done right and that you're proud of yourself for doing. Because then you can keep that somewhere, tucked away wherever you feel like, and just refer to that. When you're facing a challenge, you're feeling scared, you're feeling like I shouldn't do this thing, I shouldn't move on with this project that I, really want to do. It's too scary. Look at that list and then just remind yourself of all the things that you've done right and that you're so proud of yourself for taking the leap for. Because then that just builds that confidence. Every single time that you do something and you meet that challenge for yourself, whether you get the expected outcome that you want or not, it still builds that confidence for you in yourself because you're doing the thing that you want to do and you're proving to yourself that you can do this. I can surmount to that challenge. I can try. Because basically, all we're doing is proving to ourselves that yes, I can get this awesome idea and I can go for it versus caring about the outcome, right? Whether or not we meet that exact outcome that we want for ourselves or that we really, really want, that's not going to really give us the confidence. Even if you meet that expected outcome, that doesn't give you the confidence. What gives you the confidence is the fact that you took that leap to do that thing that you were initially scared to do. So make a list, write it down, all those awesome things that you've given yourself the permission and the time and the courage basically to do. And then refer to that list and just remember like, hey, I was so scared to move out and live on my own. I was so scared to do whatever it is, and just remind yourself of those things. And that will give you that confidence to face this next challenge that you're thinking about. It's basically all about reprogramming our minds. We have to come out of that fear-based mentality, those patterns and those negative feedback loops that we've been doing for the past 30 years or however long that you've been doing these, and come into this new reprogramming of your own mind, basically. So break down those thoughts, break down those negative thoughts that you're having related to this calling that you feel in your heart, and ask yourself, are these thoughts even serving me? Is this fear-based mentality that I'm having honestly going to serve me? When I look back on this, on my deathbed or whatever, when I'm too old to walk the Grand Canyon, whatever it is, how did this negative fear, this negative thought, how did that serve me? Because when you're looking back on it like that, when you're so much older, you're going to wish that you did these things. You're not going to look back and say, oh, I'm so glad I listened to that fear-based mentality. I'm so glad I listened to all those negative thoughts. No, you're going to say, hey, I wish I hiked the Grand Canyon. I wish I did these things. I wish I bought that car. Wish I talked to that guy in the coffee shop. Whatever it is. Honestly, you really just need to see, is this serving you and is this serving your goal? Turn it into a positive statement for yourself. Those negative thoughts, like I said, write them down and then draw an arrow next to it, write down right next to it a positive statement. Kind of the opposite of what you were thinking about. What's something positive? What if this goes right? Let's stop thinking about all the things that can go wrong. Sure, in a major investment or a major, issue, you might need to think about a plan B. What if this goes wrong? What's my backup? What am I going to do? I'm not saying to be stupid about your excitement. But what if it goes right? Let's think about all the positive things that could come out of this. What if you take that little leap and it just goes so right? And then that would be the most exciting thing ever, seriously. Dwelling on those negative thoughts will seriously get you nowhere. So it's time that we start thinking about all this positivity and what we can do and what might happen and how we can serve ourselves to live this life that we want to live. So I think when you get that exciting idea about your passion, about whatever it is that you feel is calling you on your heart, you should first kind of get excited, allow yourself to feel those feelings, but notice the minute that it turns into a fear-based thought. I need you to notice that. Witness it, write it down,
prove it to yourself. Write it down and then think about it. Is this true? Is this thought serving you? Is this really even going to happen? Or are you just kind of tripping about something that won't even come into fruition? Turn them into some positive statements. Think about it. Turn it into a positive statement. Like I said, what could go right? What if you didn't fail? And that's the other thing, is failure is not failure. Mistakes are supposed to happen. We're humans. We're going to make mistakes. That's what life is about learning. We learn so much from our mistakes, think about them. And like I said earlier, you can write a list down of all the things that you thought were going to be mistakes or that you were scared were going to be a mistake. And then they turn into the most amazing thing ever, or just gave you the confidence to keep trying. That's really what matters. I've heard this quote before, that fear is false evidence appearing real. It's not a fact. It's not truth. It's fake news. It's that feeling that we get because we're leaving our comfort zones. And leaving your comfort zone is such a good thing. It's a signal. It's a signal saying, what the fuck am I doing right now? What am I doing? Should I be doing this? Is this safe? I don't know. It means that you're about to grow. You got this. You can do this. You know that you can. Just think of how boring it would be if you were just sitting around in a stagnant life. I'm so proud of you because I know you're going to do this. I know that you're ready to take the next leap, and I know that you can. When you look back on this journey, 5 years from now, just imagine how excited that you'll be for yourself that you did it. You got this, girl. I am seriously rooting for you, and I can't wait to hear your stories. Can't wait to see the things that you are about to do. Feel free to slide into my DMs anytime at enlightened.wellness on Instagram. I can't wait to hear about all these exciting adventures that you're about to start. I'm so excited for you and your journey, and I love sharing mine. So let's do this. Hit subscribe if this resonated with you. Share it with a friend. That would mean so much to me, just to continue getting everybody to live these exciting lives, and that would just be such an amazing world we could live in, right?
Yay, I'm so happy you were able to make it to another awesome episode. Don't forget, if this resonated with you, take a screenshot, tag me in it on Instagram at enlightened.wellness. Or if it's something that one of your friends needs to hear, don't hesitate to send it out. Let's get this message across. Have a blessed day.